Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nyasha and today I'm going to be talking about why the education system has nothing to do with education. So today, the reason why I mentioned this is because, I went through the British education system, basically, mostly, I actually did some education in Zimbabwe. Most of my education I did here. So I did year 3 all the way up to university in the United Kingdom. And the reason why I don't believe the education system is really about education is for a few reasons. Now, number one, education actually started, the education system as such actually started in America with the founding fathers who wanted to teach people to read and write so they could actually read the Bible. Yes, so actually there was biblical, godly reasons why schooling systems started. But as I've noticed and as others have noticed over the years, actually what is happening now is that the education system has become a lot more about indoctrination. For example, when I was in school, the way I was taught Black history, or just history as a whole, was, wow, the British Empire was the most incredible thing, and Black people were just slaves, end of story. And then I learned a whole bunch about the wars. But what I wasn't taught about was the fact that the British people were actually going around and invading people and taking over people's lands because they saw that they had things that they didn't have, making slaves of them, and then now trying to look at us as some kind of a bad people even though you wanted to deal with us. So there's that. But then also, a lot of education is just irrelevant. The little disclaimer I would give about everything I'm going to say is that I am a fan of education, as in I'm a fan of learning. I'm a big fan of learning. That's why I honestly love learning. I'm always trying to learn something new, gain a new skill, learn about people I didn't know about. I love watching videos about other cultures and how they do stuff, So when I'm talking about learning, I'm a lover of learning. But what education has become is this very linear system that pushes you in one very specific direction. Number one, it teaches you, I'm speaking of the United Kingdom in particular, but I believe it's the same in America, but I don't know for certain in America. It teaches you one specific path. So you get to school, and in school, when you're in primary, they tell you need to get into a good secondary. When you're in secondary, they tell you try to get into a good sixth form or college. When you're in college, you're supposed to go to uni, and when you go to uni, you're trying to get a good job. That is the whole exact pathway you're supposed to follow, which in and of itself is very toxic because not everybody is different and everybody is unique. This is a lesson I had to learn the hard way after school, actually, because school made me feel pretty stupid, actually, and made me feel like I wasn't very intelligent at all. And it was after being in school, after living life and having all these experiences, people tell me they think I'm intelligent all the time. It's really interesting because according to school, I'm not that intelligent. And I believe that's because, again, there's a very specific system as to how you do well in school. You're supposed to impress some examiner. I don't know who this examiner is, but I've been told to impress them at every corner. And I used to argue with my teachers about that. I don't understand why you're always talking to me about impressing an examiner. I don't care about an examiner. I care about my life and my education, where I'm trying to go. Why are you telling me to impress the examiner and use language the examiner likes? If I can display that I understood something, why isn't that enough? And it's built, again, prioritizing academic subjects. Not everybody's an academic, And I say not everybody's academic, and it sounds horrible because then people who don't feel like they're academic almost feel like they're somehow less than. But they're not, because people have genuine life skills. I believe God has gifted everybody with something that they in particular are so good at. And it might not be English, it might not be maths, it might not be science, it might not be, do you know what I mean? But what it might be is you might be a fantastic carpenter. Better than even the best mathematicians could ever be. You might be a fantastic singer. With vocals that just sent that people just absolutely love. And so the fact that those kinds of people, and I mean, even when I was at school, now for me, I grew up wanting to mainly be, at first I wanted to be an actress. Then for a good while, I wanted to be a surgeon until I realized that med school was long, and then being a doctor and everything, I'm not really going to have time to spend with my family, and I'm trying to have children, I'm trying to be a mum, so that's not really going to work for me. But if you don't have those kinds of pathways, school can be quite difficult for you. And that's where school is always pushing you to. And like I was saying, like for me, I enjoyed dance. It took me a long time to realize how much I was more passionate about the creative stuff than I was the academic stuff. Like I did a degree in chemistry. I loved it, but science is my hobby. You know, creativity is my passion. And even when I was at school, they were doing everything to cancel basically anything creative. I remember the dance show ended up getting cancelled, so the dance show doesn't happen anymore. There was a multicultural evening we used to have, which used to have all sorts of different things from different cultures. That ended up getting cancelled. And so people, I mean, I think even dance GCSE, a few of the GCSEs got cancelled. I'm not sure exactly which was what, but I say all of that just to say that this is why I don't believe the education system is about education. Because if you wanted to educate people, you would educate them in such a way that would benefit them so they can thrive the best for what they have in their own life. So then my question is, what is the education system for then, if it's not for that? And my belief is that the education system is actually built to indoctrinate us, to make us think in a certain way. So by the time we get to age 21 and we've left uni, we have a certain mindset and mind frame that benefits certain people. Because let me tell you something. If every school was teaching about business and everyone's like, oh, schools, they don't teach about business. If we knew about business from school, I would have started a business. They don't want you to know about business because they want you to be a worker, because they want to know about business so they can thrive, so they can make money off of the fact that you're coming into work every day and you're doing what they tell you to do and you're only making a certain amount of money. I mean, realistically, if you work for somebody, there's only a certain amount of money you're going to make. And all that money that you're going to make, you're going to have to physically be present to make it. And the people who are employing you at the top level are just enjoying themselves on holiday, having a margarita with their wife, laughing, waking up every day, seeing that there's another 100,000 in their business account because you've been working so hard. Even though your life is hard, even though you don't feel fulfilled, even though you kind of want to try something else, but you don't know how because nobody taught you how. And that is my issue with the education system. Now, it's always just a way for the government to indoctrinate us from a young age. And so when you become to adulthood now, when you want to do anything that's outside of the norm, everything is working against you, so much so that you have to be the kind of person that's just going to choose to do something anyway and have that courage for you to get out of it. You know, and that has nothing to do with education. Because to me, true education people should be excited to learn. If you were learning about something you love, like I'm sure we've all learned at some point in our life, we've learned about something that we love. Even if it's through watching a YouTube video, even if it's through seeing something you saw in person, maybe going to the shops and stuff and you saw, wow, I really love what that person's doing. That looks really fun. Or hearing from somebody else. And yet school doesn't teach you that. School just teaches you how to prepare for a job, how to make your CV look good, how to impress an examiner and then impress an employer and then impress whatever. But they don't talk to you about what is it that your individual purpose is. I mean, school is even the same place where you learn about the Big Bang Theory, which I don't believe in, which basically just tells you that everything happened by accident, your life is an accident, you have no purpose. So it's even easier for you to believe that your whole purpose is to work for somebody else for 40 years, 50 years, get a pathetic pension, and then die. When God is like, I came to give you life and life in abundance. Hello? Do you know what I mean? So I do think that people need to just see that the education system really and truly is not built to educate. It's built to indoctrinate. Indoctrination. And the fact that we have become so reliant on it. I mean, back in the day, again, if you look back to biblical times or even times before the Industrial Revolution and a lot of things, parents used to teach their children to read and write. And then parents, again, would teach their children the family craft. That's why you have so many people who are successful today. They're like, oh, yep, I'm a car mechanic. Mechanics have been in my family for the past 200 years. My dad taught me and I'm going to teach my son and I love it. Because that's how it used to be. It used to be that your parents would teach you to read and write. That's basic education. And it's true. I love maths, yeah, but people say all the time, like, so much of maths, I don't need it. It's not like I never used it again. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you don't. And yet you're forced to learn it, and then your education, your intelligence is based upon how well you did in something that you're not going to use again. Does it make any sense? No, it doesn't. But unfortunately, that's just the world that we now live in. And that's why, to me, it's, again, and because, and this is the thing, because if everybody decides to go homeschooling, we'll have a big issue. What will the big issue be? Well, parents are going to be at work. And why are parents stuck at work as opposed to stuck working for themselves, doing their own craft? Because those same parents went through that same system that indoctrinated them to think that they had to just go to uni, get a job working for somebody else, where everything is on somebody else's terms, not on their own terms. They sign a contract saying that they're going to agree to do somebody else's terms, and then now they're screwed because now they might even want to homeschool their children, but they can't. Why? Because they got a job. And they follow the path everybody tells you to follow. And if you try to veer outside of that path, don't even try it, because everybody's going to have something to say to you. And they're going to tell you that that's not what you're supposed to do. That's wrong. That's uncertain. Having a job is uncertain. I'm going to say it now. Having a job is uncertain. If COVID hasn't taught you anything, COVID needs to teach you that having a job is uncertain. Because look at this, like, deep this. I'll tell you from my personal experience, because I like personal experiences, because then people can't try and tell me, well, how do you know that? I'll tell you. I graduated doing a chemistry degree. Now, when I graduated, I could have gone straight into a graduate job, and I had my eyes set on working at Rolls-Royce. I wanted to do a graduate program with them, like materials engineering or whatever. I even did the practice test that you have to do to pass to even be considered, and I passed them and everything. However, when COVID hit, which company had to let 9,000 staff members go? Rolls-Royce. So now, first of all, Rolls-Royce is one of the most prestigious like car companies, engineering companies out there. They make engines for airplanes and everything. They are amazing. I still would love to work for Rolls-Royce, by the way. So Rolls-Royce, if you ever want to. But anyway, they let 9,000 staff members go. So now imagine I had set my goals on everything for this ultimate job. I'm going to try and do this, which to some extent I did, and to some extent I didn't. I had things I was working on the side while I was doing my degree. And I decided not to take that path. Had I taken that path, all of a sudden, overnight, I don't have a job. And what are those same people going to say to me about job security and life security? What are you going to tell me? Oh, well, it's just because of COVID. If not for COVID, no. Because me working for somebody else is putting myself, I've been indoctrinated, to do something that benefits somebody else. And whatever happens, they are protected. Because the thing is, the people at the top of these businesses, they're not stressing, You think Richard Branson's not all on his islands, just chilling, waiting for this COVID thing to end? He might have to go bankrupt, but he's almost definitely got money somewhere that he's going to be able to survive. And even if he's not living as lavishly as he once was, he's definitely surviving still better than the average person in the public. And yet that was supposed to be the safe option. Guys, it's indoctrination. It's brainwashing. What is the safer option is for me to be somebody at the top of my own business, where even if anything happens, even if I have to liquidate, even the way that like private limited companies work, the whole purpose of the idea that your company is limited is the fact that you do not even have to accept the full responsibility for your own company. That's how patented it is in this day and age. And yet, everybody thinks that having a job is the best thing. This is what I don't understand, guys. Really and truly. So, I'm just saying, I'm going to try and keep this one shorter than usual because I tend to make long videos. Education or indoctrination? I'm going to leave that question with you. But what do people really leave school with? A lot of the time, it's low self-esteem. It's either you're one of those people that gets 15,000 A stars, which to those people, I applaud them. They're fantastic. They're amazing. But those same people, do you know what usually happens to them? They end up working for the people who decide to start a business, and they end up being the people who maybe they're getting paid 250k a year to be a CEO, but they're a CEO of a company of somebody who probably got like B's and C's, who started a business and who's making way more than that on a daily basis, doing nothing. So anyway, that's what I have to say about education versus indoctrination. Where we look at where education came from, it really started because Americans wanted people to read the Bible. Now, obviously, to be able to read and write and understand so they could read the Bible. Back in the day, the way people came into employment, it was a lot more about what skills do you have and how can we harness those than it was go to primary school, go to secondary school, go to uni, college or sixth form, get a degree, get a good job, climb the ladder. The ladder's going to end at some point, probably around the 250k mark, and then try and get a decent pension and work for somebody else for the rest of your life and work in somebody else's time when they want you to be somewhere, not be able to take off time for yourself, not be able to think for yourself, probably be a significant degree of unhappy, probably have to sacrifice normal family life and responsibilities just to climb in your job career, and that's nonsense to me. And then also, because they write the curriculum, they get to decide whatever they want to add to that curriculum, whatever they want to teach the children. That's why there's so many issues right now about things that are being added to curriculums. They're saying, oh, now I want to add Black history to curriculum in this way. Now I want to add a lot of the LGBTQ plus stuff into the curriculums. Again, it's a form of indoctrination because you're choosing what you want to teach people and speak to them as though it is factual and put them through a particular system. And if everybody's indoctrinated by that, if the parents went through the same thing and think that's the right decision, we're all brainwashed. But anyways, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, please share, please comment, please subscribe. Let me know what you think. And let me know if you have any other ideas. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. God bless you all, whether you agree with me, whether you don't. And I'll see you next time. Bye.